Hello everyone, welcome back to Banking and Finance with Chitrak. Today we'll be discussing the MCQs of the third chapter of the money laundering module, which is Global Measures for Money Laundering. So let's begin. The first question is, which of the following is not listed as a major global problem engaging the attention of primary international organizations? The options are money laundering, terrorism, climate change and drug trafficking. The answer is C, climate change. The next question, in what year did the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe state that banks play a preventive role and cooperate with judicial authorities and the police? The options are A, 1988, B, 1998, C, 1980 and D, 2000. The answer is C, in 1980. The next question, the Vienna Convention, adopted in 1988, was established by the United Nations against illicit traffic in what? The options are transnational organized crime, B, narcotics, drugs and psychotropic substances, C, financing of terrorism, D, money laundering. The answer is B, narcotic, drugs and psychotropic substances. The next question, which United Nations entity was mandated by the Vienna Convention in 1988 to establish a program for preventing drug trafficking? The options are United Nations Development Program, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, United Nations Security Council and United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. The answer is B, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The next question, the Palermo Convention, adopted in 2000, is formally known as what? A, UN Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances, B, UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, C, UN Convention on the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism, or D, UN Convention Against Corruption. The answer is B, UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. The sixth question, according to the Palermo Convention in 2000, which of the following was not explicitly made mandatory? A, detecting money laundering, B, suspicious transaction reporting, C, customer identification, or D, establishing a global cryptocurrency. The answer is D, establishing a global cryptocurrency was not made mandatory. Seventh question, what program did the IMF initiate in 2000 as a partner in global initiatives for combating money laundering and terrorism financing? The options are A, Financial Action Task Force or FATF, B, Offshore Financial Center Assessment Program, C, Global Financial Stability Report, or D, World Economic Outlook. The answer is B, Offshore Financial Center Assessment Program. Next question, what is one of the main objectives for the establishment of FIUs or Financial Intelligence Units? The options are to directly prosecute money launderers, to provide loan to member countries, to allow law enforcement agencies access to relevant financial information, or D, to regulate stock markets. The answer is C, to allow the law enforcement agencies access to relevant financial information. The next question, in what year did the FATF 40 recommendations explicitly recommended the establishment and functioning of FIUs? The options are A, 1988, B, 1996, C, 2003 and D, 2012. The answer is C, 2003. The next question, in which FIU model does the unit act as a centralized independent body serving as a link between the financial sector and law enforcement authorities? The options are judicial model, law enforcement model, administrative model or hybrid model, and you guessed the answer is C, administrative model. The next question, the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Unit is primarily described as what kind of network? A formal regulatory body, B, an informal network of FIUs, C, a global law enforcement agency, or D, a private intelligence organization. The answer is B, an informal network of FIUs. Next question, what is one of the main objectives of the Egmont Group? A, to directly enforce anti-money laundering laws, B, to promote the development of FIUs and foster cooperation, C, to provide financial aid to developing countries, or D, to establish a global financial currency. The answer is B, to promote the development of FIUs and foster cooperation. The next question, as of March 2022, how many members did the Egmont Group have? 167, 100, 40 or 200? The answer is 167. Next question, which body within the Egmont Group is the main governing body and meets annually during the Egmont Group plenary meeting? The options are A, Egmont Committee or EC Committee, B, Working Groups, C, Heads of Financial Intelligence Units, or D, Egmont Group Secretariat. The answer is C, Heads of Financial Intelligence Units. The next question, where is the Egmont Group Secretariat based? A. Canada, B. Belgium, C. US or D. Switzerland? The answer is A. Canada. Next question. What does ECOFEL stand for in the context of the Egmont Group and when was it created? The options are A. Egmont Center of FIU Excellence, April 2018. B. Egmont Committee for Operational Finance, March 2022. C. Egmont Coordination of Financial Exchanges, 2012. D. Egmont Center for External Funding, 2003. The answer is A. Egmont Center of FIU Excellence, April 2018. The next question. Which of the following is not explicitly mentioned as a provision of the Palermo Convention? A. Making money laundering a criminal offense. B. Mandatory suspicious transaction reporting. C. Direct global asset freezing by the UN. Or D. Cooperation and exchange of information among agencies. The answer is C. Direct global asset freezing by the UN. The next question. According to the definition provided in these sources, an FIU is a central national agency responsible for receiving, analyzing and disseminating disclosures of financial information concerning what? A. Suspected legitimate business profits. B. Tax evasion only. C. Suspected proceeds of crime are required by national legislation to combat money laundering. D. Only cross-border transactions. The answer is C. Suspected proceeds of crime are required by the national legislation to combat money laundering. The next question. The Egmont Group promotes the development of FIUs, foster cooperation, information exchange, training and sharing of expertise. Which of the following is not one of their main stated objectives? A. To promote the development of FIUs. B. To foster cooperation and information exchange. C. To provide direct enforcement of AML laws. Or D. To share expertise and training. The answer is C. To provide direct enforcement of AML laws. The next question. What is the primary function of the Egmont Committee within the Egmont Group structure? A. To serve as the main governing body. B. To coordinate HOFIU and working groups. C. To provide technical assistance to FIUs. Or D. To publish operational guidance documents. The answer is B. To coordinate HOFIU or the main group and working groups. The next question. In which of the following year a major United Nations initiative did not took place? A. 2000. B. 1988. C. 1998. And D. 1999. The answer is D. 1999. So in 1988 the Vienna Convention took place. In 1998 the political declaration was given, and in the 2000 Palermo Convention took place. The next question. Which one is not a reason for setting up FIU? A. To report suspected financial transactions by FI or financial intelligence to central agency. B. To engage the financial systems in effort to combat money laundering. C. Law enforcement agencies had limited access to relevant financial information. D. To protect the public from cyber fraud regarding money. So the answer is D. The next question. Choose the correct one. IEWG, Internal Employee Wellbeing Group. Number 2, EC, Election Committee. Number 3, EGS or Egmont Group Secretariat. Number 4, PPWG or Policy Printing and Writing Group. So which one is the correct one? The answer is D, or which is the third option, that is EGS or Egmont Group Secretariat. You can watch the video of the chapter to know the full forms of the other options. The next question. When and who gave the definition of Financial Intelligence Unit or FIU? A. 1999 IMF. B. 1996 Egmont Group. C. 1998 UNDC. Or D. 2000 UN. The answer is B. 1996 the Egmont Group gave the definition of FIU. Now the different situation based questions are here. So the first one, or the 25th question, is an international financial intelligence unit is seeking administrative and logical support as well as coordination assistance for its various working groups and leadership bodies within the Egmont Group. So the question is, which specific organ of the Egmont Group is responsible for providing this administrative support and is based in Canada? The options are the HOFIU or the Heads of Financial Intelligence Unit, B. the Egmont Committee or EC, C. the Information Exchange Working Group or IEWG, and D. the Egmont Group Secretariat or EGS. And the answer is option number D, the EGS. The next situation. A financial institution's compliance department identifies a series of unusually large and complex transactions by a client that do not align with their known business profile. The transactions raise suspicions of potential illicit activity. So the question is, according to the description of financial intelligence units, what is the primary action this financial institution is expected to take with this suspicious financial information? The first option is immediately freeze the client's assets and close their account. Next, conduct an internal investigation and resolve the issue themselves. C. Report the suspected financial transactions to a central agency for assessment and processing. Or D. Inform the client directly about the suspicious activity and request an explanation. And the answer is C. Report the suspected financial transaction to a central agency for assessment and processing. The next situation, a new nation is establishing its legal framework to combat serious crime, including the financial aspects. They want to ensure that money laundering is explicitly criminalized and that robust measures for customer identification and suspicious transaction reporting are mandatory. So the question is, which United Nations Convention adopted in 2000 would provide the most comprehensive framework for these mandatory requirements, broadening the scope beyond just drug-related offences? The options are Vienna Convention, Palermo Convention, the Political Declaration, or the Kyoto Protocol. And the answer is B, the Palermo Convention. Next question, a national government is designing its financial intelligence unit and prioritizes establishing an entity that functions as a centralized independent body. This body will serve as the crucial intermediary for information flow between the financial sector and law enforcement authorities without directly conducting criminal investigations itself. So the question is, which of the four recognized FIU models would best describe this intended structure and function? A. Judicial model, B. Law enforcement model, C. Administrative model, or D. Hybrid model. And the answer is C. Administrative model. The next situation, during the annual Egmont Group plenary meeting, the most senior officials from member of financial intelligence units gather to make key strategic decisions, set policies, and guide the overall direction of the group's initiatives. So the question is, which specific governing body within the Egmont Group comprises these senior officials and convenes annually for the plenary meeting? A. The Egmont Committee, B. The Information Exchange Working Group, C. The Heads of Financial Intelligence Unit, or D. The Egmont Group Secretariat. And the answer is C. The Heads of the Financial Intelligence Units convenes annually for the meeting. And the last question or the last situation is, a National Financial Intelligence Unit has completed a thorough analysis of several suspicious transaction reports, identifying a clear pattern of financial activity indicative of money laundering. The analysis has yielded actionable intelligence. So the question is, what is the crucial next step for this FIU after analysis according to its stated primary purpose to ensure effective anti-money laundering enforcement? The options are: publicly disclose the findings to deter future illicit activities, B. Directly prosecute the individual's involvement in the suspicious activity, C. Provide appropriate information to law enforcement agencies, or D. Return the funds to the original sources if possible. And the answer is C. Provide appropriate information to law enforcement agencies. So that was it for this chapter's MCQs. If it helped you, then do like, share and subscribe my channel. And to get the notes of the chapter, do fill up the form given in the description and comment box. Thank you and all the best for your exam.